Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so we'll start. I think 62 is count. Okay, we'll wait for a minute. Still any question or anything you want to ask? Okay, have you did any progress in hacker rank? In whatever the short vacation you have? Okay, good one. Okay, continue with that because that will be very much helpful. Okay, for your everything placement point of view also and your logic building also. Okay, so don't left it behind. Okay, this semester also many of the things are going on hacker rank. Okay, few subjects like OOP, probably the syllabus is discussed with you. Okay, the last section of OOP is also having some assignments on hacker rank. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Okay, so don't left it behind. Okay, because that is very much important. Okay, because whatever the theoretical part we are going to teach in your lectures. Okay, so that is there to build your conceptual structure, concept behind suppose array, concept behind tree, concept behind string. Okay, so that will be there. Okay, but it's not possible again to take more examples as we have a time constraints. Okay, so if you practice on those platforms, okay, like CodeShip is there, HackerRank. Okay, so that will help you a lot. Okay, for having to build a strong foundation for these basic concepts. Okay, because wherever you go, you may study Python, you may study Java, you may study n number of languages. R is there. You may go for web development. Anywhere you have to work with. Okay, any what you'll say, your future dream language will be there. Okay, so whatever you wherever you go, the basic foundation remains same. Okay, and if you are good in basic foundation, then you can easily tackle any programming language. Okay, it's not means it's not like suppose you are good in Java. Okay, it requires much time to learn Python. Okay, so that are the same thing, but the basic constructs or basic concept remains same throughout the languages. Okay, across the languages. Okay, so to build the basic concepts for any single language is very good approach. Okay, as you have first year C, now this year you will have C++. Okay, so we are gradually progressing. But you built your yourself strong in these two languages, because the rest of the other languages, if you go with Java or if you go with Python, okay, so they're little bit, I'm not saying more high level, but as compared to C, C++, they have more functionalities. Okay, but inherently more things which are need to be understood. Okay, so that are suppressed. Okay, so if you are good in these two languages, okay, so you'll easily adapt those advanced libraries. Okay, that advanced structures that we have in other languages. Okay, so for that, continue your means work on these coding platforms or any other thing. I think you are at second year. Okay, start searching for some problem statements. Okay, so which are asked as an interview or as an um, what will say interview questions or aptitude questions for good companies. Okay, so that will help you a lot. Okay, because if you go for the companies like MNC companies like if anyone have a dream to go with Google, Microsoft. Okay, so they will have multiple rounds of interviews and multiple rounds of competitions. Okay, so that if you know initially, so you'll grab it easily. Okay, I probably may have told you one real time example which was happened with I think Einstein or Edison. Okay, so you may say that, sir, you are taking very big company name Microsoft, Google. Okay, it's not like that. Okay, so if we practice for these companies, you'll get the better thing in your hand. Okay, so if you know that example, so we'll start today's morning with a short story. Okay, then I will continue with my lecture. Okay, so मे बी आपण डिस्कस केला असेल, मराठीत तुम्हाला चांगली सांगता येईल, इंग्लिशमध्ये पण सांगू शकतो, बट दॅट विल नॉट दॅट मच टचिंग. सो दॅट तो सायंटिस्ट होता, तो लॅबमध्ये, आय थिंक 1 or 2 नाउ ऑल आर फॅमिलियर विथ मराठी. ओके, so is there any who or his or she is not familiar that much with Marathi? आहे का कोणी राहिला आता? Okay, ठीक आहे, I will read that. Okay, so no issue. So one scientist is working in his lab. Okay, very good scientist. I exactly won't quote the exact name. Maybe Edison or Einstein. If anyone knows the story, so he just correct me. Okay, so when he is working continuously in his lab. Okay, and he's having very much what we'll say a good connect with his cat. Okay, so every time that cat comes in that experiment, okay, so he has a very good connect and he has a very good attachment with that his cat. Okay, so every time what happens when he starts working, okay, so it's not, scientists are not like us. Okay, like they will start for 5 minutes and they will watch some WhatsApp messages. It's not like that. They will continuously sit on some the task which is there in their mind. Once it is finished, then only they will have some relaxation. Okay, so he is continuously searching something, continuous studies going on. Every time what happens, that cat comes and it just ओरखडणं, दरवाजावर ओरखडत होती ती, म्हणजे दरवाजा ती उघडण्यासाठी. सो फॉर ओपनिंग दॅट डोअर ही ऑलवेज मेक सम नॉइज ऑन डोअर. ओके, so every time that scientist got getting disturbed, but he has very good attachment with that cat. So what he did once a day, okay, so he created a small door for that cat. Okay, on the same door he just put one hole of the size of that big cat. Okay, so that hole is made over there. Okay, and now everything is okay. So every time that cat enters, okay, he just enters from that hole. Okay, so there is no hurdle for that scientist. The study goes on. Okay, and later time what happens, so that cat got small what will say kids. Okay, छोटे छोटे पिल्ल झाली तिला. Okay, and now scientists think on that. Okay, so now what to do? Okay, so one cat is there who is making so much noise while entering from the door. So what to do? So without much thinking, that scientist done a small hole. Okay, so one small hole, one hole is there on the door for big cat, and one small hole he did on the same door. Okay, for that small cat, and he continues here his research and study. Later on, after a few days, okay, he just observed that scenario. Okay, so from which door, bigger door, the big cat comes. Okay, small cats also coming from that same door. Okay, so so he laughed himself. Okay, so he haven't think on that. Okay, so the same thing is there. Okay, so if you the rest of the thing Marathi jara interesting वाटले असते, but for some language constraint it's not that much easy to tell in other language. But the same thing, if you catch the big cat, okay, rest of the small cats will come behind you. Okay, so the things when you are setting a plan, you are at second year, when you are setting some good plan in your life, okay, for your future, okay, in any means. Okay, it's not like in financial or job. Okay, any means, if you are going to progress, okay, so you always think for big. Okay, so small will come always. Okay, so that's the thing we have. So now we'll just share my screen. So yesterday we have started with data structure basics. Okay, I just touched those points which we have covered. Okay, so can we start with permission of
Yes,
all?
sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
तर सेकंड इयर आल्यापासून मला लेस तुम्ही शांत शांत वाटतं. काय झालं, टेन्शन घेतलं का, काय झालंय? तेच प्रथमेश,
काय नाही झालं सर.
आवाज बारीक झाले सगळ्यांचे. ठीक आहे, होप लवकर विल मीट समवेअर इन ऑफलाईन. Okay, so now the syllabus that we have touched yesterday. Okay, so we have just started the data structure concept. So we have gone through these all parts. Okay, what do you mean by data? What is data type? What is data object? And what is data structure? Okay, so these 4 points we have just covered. I just start recording. Okay. Okay, so these all points we have gone through. Okay, so while considering this particular part, so data is specifically we have seen, so it is a normal piece of information. So whenever you are dealing with any real time problem, okay, there comes a role of data. Okay, So that data we have seen, it will be two types. One is atomic data, one is composite data. Atomic data we cannot decompose in multiple forms like an integer value. Okay, so that cannot be separated. You may say that, sir, 1 2 3 4 is the number, we can separate it as 1, we can separate it as 2, we can separate it as 3, but it will lose the meaning and it will not be the same data as we have. Okay, so but as a composite data, if we consider the structure element, okay, where we have a name, where we have roll number and all, okay, and if we separated each entity separately, still the meaning remains as it is. Okay, so that data part we have seen. Okay, so after data, it comes a role of data types. So how to store the data? Okay, so every language will have a different terminology of storing data. Okay, so like C++ languages. Okay, so you'll store the data in data types like integer, float, character. Okay, so in some advanced languages like Python, is there integer, float, character we have? Like this, we need to declare this integer, float. Okay, so but inherently it is in backend. Okay, but the thing is that data type is there. Okay, so so that will have, it is called as a number directly. Okay, so data type is there. Okay, so but the data type, so the main thing is that where we have to store the data and what is the type of that data. Okay, so that is need. Okay, so we have seen two different things, that is built-in data types and user defined data types. Okay, the next part we have touched, that is data object. Okay, so now we have a data in our hand. Okay, so suppose roll number of your division, that data you have in hand, we know the data types. So now these all roll numbers of type of integer, and we have to store that in integer type. Okay, so now after storing the data, okay, whatever the runtime instance of that data will come, that is called the data object. Okay, so whenever you're actually storing in the data by using integer array of 10 is equal to something, okay, so that becomes object of the data. Okay, so it comes as a data object. A data object, it represents a container for data values. Okay, and finally we have seen data structure. Okay, so structure means what? We are now having we are attaching some meaning to that data. Okay, so data structure refers to the data and its representation. Okay, so you may have a combination of elements. Okay, so it can be either of same or different type. Okay, a set of association, set of some rules we'll have. Okay, so these four things that we have gone through. Okay, then we have seen some abstract view of this data. Okay, so like we can define a data structure like domain, like function, and axioms we have seen. So suppose if I have to declare a data structure of integer, okay, so the domain will be the means its values which it comes over here. Okay, that can be an integer or boolean. Okay, set of functions which are there, so that can be, you may have 0, if 0, add, increment, decrement. Okay, so some like negative, positive, some which are the different functions that we can apply on their data. That will be the functions. And axioms means what? The rules, set of rules. Okay, so suppose if you have negative as one axiom, okay, so it will be minus of number. Okay, so that will be the negative, so that is the description of that particular function. Okay, so this is the abstract view of your data structure of integer. Okay, so any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Okay, so now the next thing, yes, as yesterday we have seen. Okay, so these all things we have gone through. So what is the data structure, efficient way of storing and organizing data and all the things. It plays a very, very important role in all of the things, whether you are dealing with some operating system programs, some compiler design programs, whether it is AI, whether it is deep learning, anywhere if you go, the data structure plays a very, very important role. Okay, so how you are going to organize the data, it comes in a picture. Okay, so suppose if anyone is studying Java, okay, so Java will have a collection framework. Okay, so that collection framework totally deals with the data structures. Okay, so there are a number of data structures, okay, which are organized in an abstract way in that particular collection. Okay, so wherever you go, okay, this is just an example. Okay, so suppose if you go in Python or Java, so how the data stored in backend, so that is stored in a heap memory. Okay, so that is a heap data, sorry, not a data, heap memory allocation is there. Okay, so wherever you go, it comes an inherent what we'll say inclusion of the data structure, and data structure is a main composite part. Okay, so you may say that this is a decomposable part of your any programming. Okay, so that you must have to work with. Okay, so a data structure, it's a particular way of organizing. So this is an array data structure that we have seen, and yesterday we have seen what program means. Program is algorithm plus data structure. Okay, so algorithm, you know that. Okay, So the steps which are there to accomplish our goal, okay, so that is called as an algorithm, okay. And while accomplishing that goal, how to deal with data, so that is done with the data structure, okay. So an whole combination of algorithm plus data structure, it makes a program, okay. So what exactly data structure study covers? Okay, so data structure study will cover amount of memory required to store the data, okay. So that is one thing that you have to study. Amount of time required to process the data. So already we have seen yesterday, okay. So suppose if you are going with linear search, okay, to search for suppose a dictionary word, okay, so it requires much time, okay. So but if you, instead of linear time, if you have some another approach, like we have a heap data structure, we have some a tree data structure, so likewise if you adapt some another approach, so will require less time. And as you know, the two things, that is linear search or binary search, okay, so binary search will require very less time, okay. So that amount of time that is required to process the data, that we have to store, see. Then representation of the data in memory, how that data to be stored in a memory, that is the thing. And operations that are to be performed on the data, okay. So that comes, these all study comes under a data structure, okay. So now we'll move to today's agenda. So we have to discuss this thing, that is the types of a data structure, okay. So how the data structure is divided into number of types, okay. So with this diagram, it's very simple to see that is a data structure. So built-in data structure, so it is called the primitive data structure, okay. So if you see, okay, so this type is called as a primitive data structure, okay. And user defined, it is called as a non-primitive data structure, okay. So primitive data structure is there, which is a built-in data structure, like integer is there, float, character, and pointer, okay. So these all are primitive data structures, means what, that are now primary, okay, that are built-in, okay, that are given by the what we'll say system itself, okay. And non-primitive data structure means what, which are derived from this primitive data structure, okay. So these all called as the non-primitive data structure, okay. You know that very well, but as a point of your exam, okay, you must keep in correct sense in your mind, okay. So because you may have a question, okay, write a short note on types of data structure, okay. So likewise, okay, or if you same in MCQ exam will going on, okay. So you may have 4 types like integer, float, array, and pointer, okay, which is a non-primitive data structure, okay. So your answer will be array will be there, that is a non-primitive data structure, okay. So again, that non-primitive data structure will be divided into 2 parts, that is linear data structure and again non-linear data structure, okay. So this is a decomposition of this particular thing, okay. So a linear data structure will be stack and queue, and non-linear data structure will be tree and graph. So I will see in next lecture, next what we'll say part of this lecture, okay. So with this example, how I would call it is a linear and why we call it as a non-linear with some examples, okay. So this is types of data structure. Along with this, we'll have more types, that is static data structure, non-static data structure, okay. We'll have persistent data structure, ephemeral data structure, okay. So these are all types we are going to touch, okay. So there is one bit in your syllabus also, different types of data structure, okay. So we'll first see, so this is one in detail, what we'll say the same part, okay. So that types of this diagram you must keep in your mind, okay. So this may be asked you in exam, okay, if it is a theoretical part, okay. So that you must keep in mind, okay. Primitive means the basic data structures, non-primitive means which are derived data structure, and linear means from non-primitive, which are organized in linear fashion, so that will be linear, and which are not organized in linear fashion, that will be non-linear data structure, okay. So we'll just go in some more details for this particular type, okay. So primitive data structure, so again the same thing, that are the very basic data structure, okay. So these data structure have different representation for different computers, okay. So likewise, if you consider integer, okay. So integer will work on 32-bit system, it will have a 2 bytes of memory, okay. So it is a 64, it will have a 4 bytes of memory, okay. So it will have different representation on different machines, okay. So we'll have these types of data structures are available in most programming languages, and that are built in, okay. So that are already given, okay. So likewise in C language we'll have integer, again short, long, and everything will have with that integer, okay. So these all comes under a primitive data structure. If you go in Python, there will be something number, okay. So it is composite or combinedly integer, float, they will represent as a number as we have, okay. So integer data type which allows all values without fractions. So that integer float, I think no need to discuss this, you already know. Okay. Non-primitive data types, these are the most sophisticated data structure. These are derived from a primitive data structure like array. We have a list, we have a file data structure, we have a structure as we have. Okay, so these all are derived data structure. Okay, so the non-primitive data structure that employs structuring of a group of homogeneous or heterogeneous data items. Okay, like array is a collection of homogeneous data items. Okay, and your structure will be collection of a heterogeneous data items. Okay, so array is the list is also part of array. Okay, and again that depends. Okay, so as we are working with C++, okay, so you may have a collection of homogeneous with array and linked list also. Okay, but if you go in Java, okay, so in list also you will add some heterogeneous things together. Okay, so it will be considered as a one object. Okay, it is not considered as a only list a homogeneous item. Okay, so there are a number of things you can think on parallelly. Okay, so non-primitive data types again that are going to be divided into linear data structure and a non-linear data structure. Okay, so now as the diagram itself tell, okay, so what with the seeing of this diagram, what do you mean by linear data structure? What comes in your mind?
Sir, step by step memory allocation, sir. Order memory allocation. Continuous.
Order is same. Yes, yes, that is correct. Any other characteristic that you can tell for linear word? Yes.
Specific order.
Yes, specific order is there. Okay, so if we consider, if you are standing in one row, we'll call it as a linear row. Okay, so that will be having one single row, that is called as a linear row. Okay, so basically what linear data structure means, what the format of the data in the memory, so that is arranged in a continuous block. Okay, so likewise you have an array. Okay, so that will be a linear data structure. Okay, if you have a linked list, okay, it's not an actually continuous block, but we'll have that in organized way. Okay, if you have and every element will have one predecessor and every element will have one successor. Okay, so without this it will not happen. Okay, so a few characteristics if you have to write in your paper. Okay, if you have an MCQ. Okay, so it is asked, suppose, okay, so which data structure will have will must have one predecessor and one successor, so that will be a linear data structure. Okay, so basically, the example is an array that is represent one character after another. Okay, in linear data structure, member elements form a sequence in storage. There are two ways of represent. Okay, again, there will be two ways for static and dynamic. Okay, so the one characteristics we can remember, every element will have one predecessor and one successor. Okay, so suppose if we consider any element. Okay, so this is my element, so it will have one predecessor and one successor always. Okay, you may say that, sir, this is 0th element will not have, but it starts over here. Okay, but every next coming will have one predecessor successor. Again, the storing will be only linear way. Okay, so that will go in a linear way. You will add one element after other. It will not like that will add over here the first element and add over here the another element. Okay, or you may add two elements over here separate and you may have one element over here. Okay, so whatever you are going to add, so that will be add in a sequential way, and that is going to what we'll say reside in a memory in the same order. Okay, and if you have to access the elements, okay, so that will be accessed with reference to the previous one. Okay, so suppose if you have to access the second element, okay, so that is again linked to the first one. Okay, so similarly to the linked list also, whatever the element you are going to put, you are going to put one after other. Okay, so suppose I have to insert something over here, so that will be inserted like this. Okay, so suppose if I have to insert something over here, so it is not like that it will be inserted directly as a separate element over here. Okay, so it will not be like this. Okay, so how to insert? So this link will be given to this link and this next link will be given to the next element. Okay, then only it is possible to place the element in between. Okay, so that should be in linear fashion. So for this linear data structure, in real time we can say the student standing in a one queue. Okay, so that will be a linear data structure, linear way we can say. And to this linear data structure, we have two again different types, you may say, or different ways of representation on the basis of memory. That is static memory allocation, and another is a dynamic memory allocation. So just comment on this. You know very well what is static memory allocation and what is dynamic memory allocation. Okay. Yes, what is static and what is dynamic? Yes. Okay. So static means what? When you're going to declare an array, so that is a static array. So it will not if you declare array of 10, so you is it possible to add 11 elements into array of 10?
No, sir.
Okay, so that is called as a static. Okay, so you are not able to increase the size of the what will say that array once it is declared. Okay, so that is the static memory allocation which is done at compile time. Okay, so once is it declared, so that will not be changed. And dynamic memory allocation, so I probably may have discussed malloc and calloc in last semester also, but this semester will have linked list, so we'll get more clear about that. Okay, so in dynamic memory allocations, once the new element comes, automatically we can increase the size of the data structure. Okay, automatically it goes on increasing. It's not like that is a fixed size. Okay, you can add more elements once it is come. Okay, so and there is no wastage of memory like static. If you declare array of 100, okay, and if you store 10 elements, so the 90 element size will be wasted. Okay, so that dynamic memory allocation will have. So these are the two types of linear data structure we may call on the basis of the memory allocation. Okay, and the different possible operations on this linear data structure, that is traversing, means going through the list or array. So that is traversing. You can have an insertion, you can have a deletion, you can have a searching, you can have sorting, you can have merging, you can merge two arrays you can merge. Okay, so this is the linear data structure that we have. Okay, the next comes these are again two linear data structures we have again. Okay, so this is the one thing that is array and list. Okay, and we'll have a stack and queue as a linear data structure. Okay, so you have a separate unit on these. Okay, stack is and queue is there in unit. Okay, so that we have to see. Okay, so these also in linear fashion. Okay, so stack you can consider this. Okay, so this is you can consider as a bucket. Okay, and in the bucket you are placing books from one above other. Okay, so what happens when the first book is placed? Okay, so the next book will be placed only above it. Okay, you cannot put that it below. Okay, because this is closed from this end. Okay, so you have to place like this, you have to place like this, like this, like this. Okay, so you'll come above. Okay, and when you have to remove the book from this particular bucket, okay, so which will be removed first? The top level book. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the concept of stack. Okay, so if you see some day-to-day example of this stack. Okay, so if you consider your Android functioning. Okay, so suppose in Android, okay, you're watching some YouTube video. Okay, when you're watching that YouTube video, you got a WhatsApp video call. Okay, and see the sequence. Okay, if you're watching a YouTube video, you got a WhatsApp video call. Okay, you talk on that WhatsApp video for 1 or 2 minutes, and you'll got the real actual voice call. Okay, so what happens in this sequence? Okay, so once video is you're watching a video, what happens when the WhatsApp video call comes? Video is also running or it stops?
It stops.
It stops. Okay, when you're working on WhatsApp video, okay. Okay, so when the normal call comes, again WhatsApp video call stops. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So now your normal call, when it finishes, which activity it is going to start, whether it starts video or whether it starts WhatsApp video call?
Yes.
WhatsApp video call.
WhatsApp video call. Okay, so the top level process is going, that is your normal call. Once it is end, so that is popped from the memory. Okay, so then your WhatsApp video call will be there at the top of the memory. Once it is done, it will go to your YouTube video. Okay, it will automatically resume. It depends on your setting. Okay, so this is the real-time example, and all your operating system work on this stack approach. Okay, so whatever the operating system activities are going on. Okay, you have one subject. Okay, I think next semester I exactly don't know, that is OS will have operating system, so you'll get to know all these concepts very clearly. Okay, so whatever the operating system, whichever the operating system you are working on, that works on the stack. Okay, so each and every method or process is going to stack in a memory. Okay, what about recursive function? That recursive function which you learned in previous semester. Okay, so that recursive call also works on stack. Okay, so we have gone through that example independent. Okay, so what that stack data structure? So this is just an overview of the stack, but the stack data structure is also type of a linear data structure. Okay, so here, is it not possible to add elements in between? Is it not possible to add two elements to the one element? Okay, so it will be in linear fashion only. Okay, then the next comes a queue data structure. Okay, so the queue data structure, what happens? Okay, so in a queue data structure, we'll have already we have seen, if you are having a queue of suppose you are at a vaccination center, okay, and vaccination center will have a queue of 100 people, okay. So which one get vaccine first? So the first who is in the order, he or she will get vaccine, okay. Yeah, it is not possible to interrogate in between, okay. So last will not be like that, okay. So that will be queue data structure, okay. So there are two ends to the queue data structure, okay. So this is called as the front end, okay. This is the front end where we are going to insert the element, okay. So you can consider queue as a pipeline, okay. So we'll have a insert end that we have the end we are calling at a front end, okay. And there is one end which is the back end where we are going to remove or delete the element, so that is the back end, okay. So that is a queue data structure, okay. So now you can say that whatever the data structure, these data, yes.
Sir, the rightwards we have wrote end at which deletion occurs is known as front end.
Yes.
Sir, rightwards in that queue paragraph, second line. So then in
Okay.
diagram it is opposite, na?
मला वाचू दे थांब.
Huh.
End at which deletion occurs is known as a front end, and another end at which the insertion occurs, that is rear end, okay. We'll see
Sir,
the terminology.
diagram मध्ये arrows.
हाँ बरोबर उलटा दिलेलं आहे. ठीक आहे. We'll see the terminology actually when we'll come to this point, okay. But there is one end, okay, so where we are going to add that elements, okay. So this end we have, okay, and we'll delete from, we'll correct it in this lecture only, okay. So and the deletion will be happens in another end, okay. So likewise we'll have, you can consider this as the pipeline, okay. But if you see any of the data structure, like this is an array, this is a linked list, okay, this is an stack, and this is an queue. So all these possible with array only, normal array, yes or no? Linked list also you can consider partially, but these three at least, stack, queue and array, it is possible with normal way of array, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so still you see there are the number of representations, you may say, okay. So number of representations that we have, okay, here, okay. I will just correct out that front and rear, and then we'll move over. We'll see the actual terminology. It has some different representations. You may also find, you can correct. We'll see that when we'll touch that point. Okay. So and this is the thing, but these all things we can represent with the use of normal array also. Okay. So why to have these different terminologies? Okay. So because these are the data structures. Okay. It depends. Okay. How the array is used on which purpose. Okay. So instead of every time defining the array as a separate use, you can say that for this problem statement, I will use stack. The backend representation may be with array. Stack can be represented with array. Stack can be done with linked list. No issue. Okay, you can use linked list for stack also. You can use array for stack also. Because what is the drawback of using array for a stack? Okay, castle drawback. If you use array for the stack, what will be the drawback? If you are going to implement stack using array, we have to give the size of the array. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so suppose I have given size as 10. So if 11th element will come at the top, so it will not happen. Okay, so that will failure. Okay, so the represent of stack can be done with array at backend, or can be done with linked list in backend. Represent of queue can be done with array in backend, can be done with linked list in backend. Okay, but these are we'll see in next lecture. There is one concept that is an abstract data type. Okay, so what we are doing, we are representing this as an abstract structures. Okay, we have to understand the methodology, how it is working, hiding the backend processing. Okay, many of the language, suppose you are using printf. Okay, so printf is abstract or detailed statement you are getting. Printf is written in abstract way. Okay, so do you know what is exactly the backend program written behind printf? Yes
No,
or no?
sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So now suppose if you are working with C, there is printf. What is how to print the statement in Java? करते का कोणी जावा मध्ये का आहे की नाही? जावा मध्ये प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट हॅलो वर्ल्ड हॅलो हॅलो
So print असतं Java.
yes, but that is written as a system.out.println. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir. Println.
okay, so that
Yes,
is
sir.
system.out.println. Okay, so that we have. Okay, the next thing, if you go to Python, what is the print statement?
Print.
Print. It's normal
Just
print. Okay.
print.
Yes.
Yes, print. If you go for Python version before 2.7, it will be only print in double quote. You will write your statement, and if you go above 2.7, like 3 and plus, you have to give the bracket. Okay, but still it is a print statement. Okay, so if you go in some other languages, it will be something else. Okay, but will it change the meaning of that printf?
No,
Okay,
sir.
so that is the
No, sir.
abstract way we,
No,
yes,
sir.
that is abstract way by understanding the meaning of that particular concept. Okay, will remain in our mind. Okay, whether it is printf, whether it is system.out.println, whether it is print. Okay, again in another languages, suppose if you go in PHP. Okay, so it will be echo. Okay, so you have to write some echo will be there, or something if you go for your Linux operating system, okay, to print will have some another commands. Okay, so whatever the, it will change only the syntax of that particular print. Okay, but the rest of the meaning will be same. Okay, so that way. Okay, so why these all data structures we have abstract representation. If you anywhere, if you come in any language, and suppose your manager or team leader will tell you you have to implement stack over here, okay, for working with this process. Okay, so you know that stack will have one input. Okay, only one input, like bucket you represent in your mind. Okay, so it will have only one bucket. Okay, so you have to insert one side. Okay, and deletion will be from only one side. Okay, so insertion will be from one side and deletion will be from one side, and always the topmost element will be removed first. Okay, so if that is in your mind, okay, so it's easy to implement. You can implement anyhow. Okay, so that's the concept. So we have a different data structures. Okay, all data structures we only have to implement with array or linked list. Okay, so that is the only choice we have. Okay, there is no data structure directly declared. There is no what we will say, like you are declaring array. There is no array in C language. Okay, it should be written as int array. Basic data type you have to keep as it is. Okay, so similarly there is no like this int stack in C language. C++ there is no आहे का असं कधी बघितलं तुम्ही int stack int queue, like in the array we are writing nothing like that. Okay, so stack and queue we have to implement with the use of array or linked list. Okay, so these are the actual concepts. Okay, so that we have to remember. Okay, any doubt in this?
No, sir.
नाही. 1 minute. 1 minute. Sample. Okay, so any doubt in this? Hello. Okay, so
No, sir.
okay. So now these are the linear data structures so that we have seen. So stack and queue. Okay. So actually these are abstract representation. You always remain in mind. There is no data structure, data type in any language. Okay. So you will not have you if you go to Java and also there will be array list, linked list will be there, but that is an abstract representations which are already implemented in backend. Okay. So C and C++ that are in detail languages. Okay. Other languages will be not that much in detail. So they are already implemented much of the functionalities in backend. Okay, and in front end we are using that concepts. Okay, with their predefined what we'll say classes where they're predefined libraries and functions. Okay, so but still they all are there. Okay, so that we have in mind. In next lecture we'll come across the abstract data type concept. There we'll discuss this in detail. Okay, so now the next thing, that is a non-linear data structure. Okay. So tree and graph is a non-linear data structures. Okay, so suppose if you see an above diagram, so that will be a tree. Okay, and the below diagram that will be a graph representation. Okay, so basically non-linear data structure are those data structures in which the data items not arranged in a sequence. Okay, so that will there will be no sequence. Likewise, we'll have an array and all these data structure will have a common sequence. Okay, but in this tree there will be no sequence. So suppose this is my root node. Okay, to that root node will have these two childs. Okay, but it is not compulsory that the below root node also will have two childs. It may have one child. Okay, so likewise we'll have like this. Okay, so their data items are not going to arranged in a sequence. Okay, there is no sequence which is needed for these data structures. Okay, likewise a tree and graph are there. A tree can be defined as a finite data items. Okay, node in which the data items are arranged in a branches and sub branches. Okay, so basically T represents the hierarchical relationship between the various elements. Okay, it consists of nodes connected by edges. Okay, so these all these are called edges. Okay, these are called nodes. Okay, again we'll have terminal. This will be called as a root node. This will be called as a leaf node. Okay, so this is a subtree like this. Okay, so that will come across when we'll study that in detail. Okay, so we'll have like this. Okay, so the tree consists of nodes and edges. So that we have in a graph. Okay, so again graph is a collected nodes. Okay, again it will be have the edges and nodes only, but it will be called as a vertices. Okay, so this will be called a vertices. Okay, so tree can be viewed in viewed as a restricted graph. Okay, so if you connect this node over here, if you connect this node over here, and if you connect this node over here, so this will be completely connected tree, so that will become a graph now. Okay, so but this, if you see these data structures, okay, there will be no need to store anything in sequential order. Okay, so that will be considered over here. Okay, so these two separate units we have. Okay, in your syllabus, one it is on unit is on tree and one unit is on graph. Okay, so can you tell me any real-time scenario where you may need or where you will come across these two data structure? Okay, already you have discussed for queue. We'll need queue somewhere. Okay, so suppose we'll have a priority queue likewise. Okay, so suppose if you have to if you have created one program, okay, so suppose there are 15 functions in that program. Okay, so there are 15 functions for some or other purpose. You have created 15 functions in your program. Okay, so now in that I have to prioritize that particular function. So suppose function 5 will be having high priority. Okay, function 7 will be have something less priority. So I have to place that in that queue. Okay, so 5, 7. Okay, so 5 will be processed first. Once the 5 will be processed, then 7 should come in picture. Okay, it should not work in reverse order. Okay, so there comes a queue approach. Okay, so queue will be work. So there are multiple examples of the queue we have. So any example that comes in your mind for tree and graph? Okay, these are the data structures that we have. Yes. Okay, so suppose if you consider the graph, this is my graph. Okay, so I will just label now. This is my Pune. We'll see the real-time example. Okay, so Pune, this you may call it Satara. This you may call it suppose Mumbai. Okay, this will be suppose again you may call at suppose I will say that is in Karjat, or you may say some X location, Alephat actually. I will just marking the path that will reach from Pune to Mumbai. Okay, and this will be suppose Lonavala. Okay, so we'll mark this as a distance. So suppose from Pune to Satara, it will be suppose 100 kilometers. Okay, so we'll have 100 kilometers over here. Okay, Pune to Alephat, suppose it will be 50 kilometers. Okay, Pune to Lonavala, it will be 30 or 40 kilometers. We can say that it will be 40 kilometers. And Lonavala to Mumbai, it will be again suppose 80 kilometers or something. Maybe some difference. Lonavala to this will be suppose again 50 kilometers. Okay, we will have the labels, or we will have some values to these nodes. Okay, this will be suppose 120 kilometers. And this will be suppose we'll have as 30 kilometers. Okay, so suppose someone will have this marking like this. Okay, this is a real-time example where actually graph is used. Okay, to find out the shortest path. Okay, so from A, if I have to reach to E, okay, which will be my shortest path. Okay, so this will be 40 plus this will be 80, and this will be 50 plus 30. Okay, so which will be shortest path? This will be shortest path. Yes. Maybe distance and
Yes, sir.
arbitrary. Okay, so
Yes,
it's
sir.
not
Yes.
like that. Okay, so this
Yes,
is
sir.
shortest path. So this is the
CAB.
real time. Yes. So this will be the real time example where the graph is used. Okay, so likewise yesterday also I have discussed you one example like traveling salesman problem. Okay, so now this is my salesman which is standing at the A location, and it is surrounded by different 50 locations. Different 50 locations he is surrounded. Okay, and he have to find out the optimum way by which he should reach all the destinations within the shortest path within the shortest time. Are you getting my question? What is the question?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so it is a very complex problem. If you look into some literatures of the computer, okay, it is a very complex problem that is solving salesman problems. Still yet to be have the optimum solution for that. Okay, so when you go for advanced programming like that, we are not always focused on the correct answer, but we'll focus on the optimum answer or more correct nearby answer. Okay, so there are multiple methodologies you may come across in future. Okay, but for all these methodologies, for all these next what we'll say any languages or any data structure, advanced data structures, if you have to work with like DAI, is that design analysis of algorithm. Okay, so there are a number of different applications of the data structure will may come across, but you must have a ground and correct knowledge of these all things. Okay, so this is an example of graph. Okay, so tree also. So suppose if you have to separate out something. Okay, so suppose if you have to make a branching. Okay, so likewise suppose this is a PCCOE. Okay, and if you have to organize some data. Okay, so like a computer branch, IT branch, mechanical branch. So suppose, okay, so instead of having data in one single what we'll say one array of all roll number of all the students. Okay, so I will place the students like that. PCC will be the one node. Okay, so to that node I will have one computer node. To the computer node I will have SCTEB. To SE I will have male students, I will have female students. Okay, so like it is categorized. Okay, suppose there will be one question. Okay, so I need a count of female students from computer. Okay, so there is no need to go anywhere. You just start from P, you just go to the C node, you just go to the suppose second year will be asked second year, you just go second year and you just find out the female count. Okay, so there is no need to search throughout the array. Okay, so to count each and every student over there, whether to check the branch and all. Getting? So these are the data structures that we have. So in this whole semester we are going to learn these all in details. Okay, so today we are discussing the main thing, that is linear data structure and non-linear data structure. Okay, linear data structure are stored in a sequential way, and non-linear data structure are not going to store in a sequential way. Okay, so any doubt or anything that you want to ask? If no doubt, so we'll conclude today's lecture. Jalan time?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I'll just check the attendance. Okay, those who are not in having the same roll number, please rename your names. Okay, so that will be easy to take the attendance. Okay, likewise Devers, सगळे FY ला, बाकी जे FY चे जे आहेत त्यांनी फक्त SY करा. That will be in correct order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is there. Yes, 11.
Yes, sir.
आहे का वरती?
संजीत.
संजित तुझा रिनेम करून घे रे व्यवस्थित. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is there, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 41 is there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you also rename with the same
Okay,
way,
sir.
so you'll come over there. Okay, I think B is missing. You have only written SYCO.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so make it B. 24, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Sorry, 40. 40 we are going. 49, 50, 51, 52, 53 is there? 53?
Yes, sir, 50.
तू पण फर्स्ट इयर मध्ये नाही आता सेकंड इयर मध्ये. 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 7, 8, 69.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You also come to second year. 7, 69, 71. Post list to 71 is
Yes. Nice.
ना? 71. Okay. नंबर चेंज झाले का तुमचे?
हो सर.
ठीक है. So 72. So no one is present. All are present. Sorry, no one is absent. Okay. So okay. Bye. Thank you very much. So we'll meet in next lecture. Okay.